I wonder
It's ongoing.
which which screen it's recording.
There we go. I think it.
Okay.
Just authorize it, yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Solomon, for coming. We all know he's Elijah's dad, and we've enjoyed having him in our advisory. And actually, Elijah's graduating soon, so that's, we only have him for a couple more weeks, but we've really appreciated that he volunteered you to come and share at our advisory. I think that you have some valuable information that will apply to a lot of us, or hopefully not apply, but we'll know better after hearing your talk.
Yes. Okay, so I'll tell a little bit about myself, then I will open up a subject and give some information. It's about the law, and then we have open session. You guys can ask questions and I can answer. As you said, they might learn something. Let me tell you something. You always learn when you listen, especially to somebody that is a little more mature and older, teachers, parents, older brothers, and siblings, because that's how people learn by experience. And older people have more experience. So it's always good to listen to people and see what they have, what they say. What you got to lose? 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. So I accumulate a lot of information by just listening to everyone. Everybody that says something, I just listen. So, and sometimes take a note, because then you go back to it and return to it. So let's start with myself. I came to this country when I was 18 years old. Didn't know a word of English. But I came here and I said, you know what? I want to be somebody important, big, rich. Of course, everybody wants to be rich. And I want to do something I like. I didn't know when I was 18 what I wanted to do. So I went to engineering school. I started a double major, electrical mechanical engineering. When I finished becoming an engineer at the age of 22, 23, I said, you know what? No, that's not me. But I didn't say, oh, that's bad, or I wasted my time. No, because I learned a lot. School education is not like, okay, you study to do something, learn something. Yeah, that's it. That's true. But even if you get nothing out of it, your brain get used to how to see things and do things and more interact. Think of it this way: if you have a bicycle and it sits outside and you don't use it, or use it once a year or so, after a while it's going to be rusty and the chain and you can't go. Versus if you use the same bike every day, you're not going to have flat or chains not going to be rusty. Same thing with your brain. If you use your brain every day, do the school, it's 5 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, your brain stays fresh and fast. So after engineering, I said, you know what, that's not for me. I like other things. I like being an entrepreneur. I like business. I like cars. Okay, I like cars, business. So I went and opened up a big, huge exotic car lot. And I started manufacturing some cars too, the replica cars. I did that for a while. And I said, you know what, I like it, but it's not something I want to stick with the rest of my life. And I knew, and I told myself, because I heard it somewhere, that if you want to be successful, you do something you like. Because when you like something, you do it more often. If you like your work, instead of going there 5 hours, you go 10 hours, you go 8 hours. And because you do more and you like, chances of making more money is more because you like it. And even if you don't make the money, at least you did something you like. So I like to do cars and car business and all that, exotic cars. I did that. I liked it. I was making good money, but I said, you know what? This is not for me. I really don't like it. Then I said, you know, I want to be professional, something different. So I opened a dental office, and I hired dentists, and they worked for me. And it was okay, but I didn't like blood, and I wasn't participating because I wasn't a dentist. And I said, you know what? No, I wanted something that I do something, that I accomplish. So then I went and study and become gemologist, is the stone person. Diamonds, and I started importing diamonds from Belgium and Israel. And I was doing that for a few years. I liked it, but not that much. Still wasn't me, creating something. It was like, okay, I'll get diamond, buy diamond, sell diamond. I said, no, that's not good. So I studied being a mediator. I said, oh, that's good. I like to mediate. I like to help people negotiate, make peace between them. So I become a mediator. And I did few between police department and fire department and cities and all that. And I said, no, I want something a little more than that. And I said, you know what? Being a lawyer. So then, all of a sudden, at the age of 38, 40, I start dreaming and wanting to be a judge and a lawyer. And I said, okay, actually, I wanted to be a judge. And I said, in order to be a judge, I have to be a lawyer first. So there we go, law school. So I started law school at the age of like 38 and studied and become a lawyer. And I said, okay, how do I become a judge? They said, well, you have to be a good lawyer, good standing lawyer with no complaint for 10 years. And you can talk to us. I said, okay, I'll do lawyering for 10 years. So 10 years later, I started applying to be a judge. And I got accepted, studied a little more, and I become a part-time judge. Because you can't be a judge and a lawyer. You can either be a lawyer or a judge, unless you do the judging free of charge. So I said, okay, I devote 1 day a week or 2-3 days a month, be a judge. Won't pay, that's okay, because that's what I like to do. Because that was my dream 30 years ago to be. And that's what I worked for to get here. So I do judging and I do lawyering. And by the way, when you become a lawyer, there's a 4-hour exam that you do, you become instantly a real estate broker. So I said, you know what, I'm a lawyer, another test, why not? Real estate broker. Once you do that, there's another application and a test for a couple hours, you become a loan broker. I do that, why not? So the moral story is, it's never too late. All right? The thing is, do what you like. Once you do something you like, you really enjoy it, even if you don't get paid. I love to be a lawyer. I can't wait every morning to get up, put my suits on, go to court, go up to the office. But I like even more to be a judge. And that doesn't pay me. My lawyering is like $500 an hour. I give that up just to go sit on the bench for free, to give back to community, because I like to be a judge and I like to give back to community. Whatever you do, whatever you become, try to give back to community. Become a doctor, do volunteer work. There's a program saying doctors and they go all over the world, helping. If you become, whatever you become, just do some, give back to community. And that's how you teach your friends and your kids to do the same thing. And at the end, all these degrees and things you get is, people go and the degrees, it is there, but it's what you did is count. Not how much money you have and, where you've been and all that. It's what you left, your footprints. Oh, he was a nice judge, he was a nice lawyer, he was a nice guy, he was doing community work, he was doing some work pro bono, in lawyer language means free. So did all of that, and that's what makes me really happy and I think successful. Now, there's a difference between successful and being happy, but if you're successful and happy, that's the best. So the way I see it, happiness is getting what you want. I'm sorry, successful. When you're successful, you're getting what you want, you're successful. You want the car, you get it, you want this, you get it, you want this person, whatever you want, you get, you're successful now. Is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you got, right? So you can be successful and happy by going after something you like, you get it, you're successful, but hey, you like what you have. and then you're happy. So if you always say, I want more, I want better car, better house, better this, better that, you're successful, but you're not never happy because you're always waiting for the next step. So getting what you want is success, which is good. But better than that is that's where I see myself. I'm happy with what I got, and I got what I want. So having said that, now that was about me. And after being a judge, I stopped. I said, you know what? Not because I don't want to study or learn anymore, because maybe you can see there's no more room in my walls for putting degrees. I mean, everywhere I have no more room. So I said, you know what? That should be that should be the end of it. Where do I hang them anymore? So I have a couple more under my desk. Let me talk to you about a law. Very important in America. One key of success, if you want to be successful, do two things. Never break the law, and always pay your taxes. If you do these two things, you're going to get a long bit. All right? Never break the law is number one. Because some profession, like being a lawyer or being a judge, you cannot become a lawyer or a judge if you have felony record or misdemeanor record. So breaking the law will stop you being police officer, firefighters, lawyers, judge, and all that stuff. So don't break the law. That's number one, and pay your taxes. Now, the law is two sections of the law, two different courts: civil courts, criminal courts. Civil courts is three sections. Civil court is when people sue each other: car accident, landlord tenant, contracts, even divorce. There's people suing each other. That's civil court. It's got three levels. If the amount is below 10,000, it's a small claim, which I'm the judge of small claim, or unlawful detainer when people landlord tenants, which I'm a judge there too. That's small. When you go suing people up to 25,000, small claim is under 10. 10 to 25 is called limited jurisdiction, up to 25, and then unlimited from 25,000 up to millions. That's civil. Now, if you get a traffic ticket or a DUI, or you take something from a store, that is criminal. What's that means? That means city or police come after you, not another person. That becomes criminal. Well, that's 3 level. The high level is felony, bank robbery, killing, rape, and all that stuff. That's felony. Second level and third level is the level that a lot of people get involved in, especially young teenagers, which is not good because that's going to stop your future. The bottom two, the bottom one is infraction, which consists of traffic tickets. Traffic tickets are different. There are some with no point, like seatbelt tickets, cell phone, and so on a carpool. By the way, guys, I don't know if you know the new law or not. As of this year, if you get a second cell phone ticket in 3 years, the second one becomes a point. Well, some of you say, so what? What is the point? Well, it's very important. By the way, I told you about the 0 points, and then there are one that have 1 point, like speeding, stop sign, U-turn, red light, and all that, unlawful U-turn. Those are 1 pointer. If you go over 100 miles an hour, which a lot of teenagers do, which is really dangerous, that's 2 points on your record. If you get that's infractions. Now, what the point does, it goes on your driving record. And your insurance company will see it and increase your insurance $1,000 to $1,500 a year for the next 3 years. So that's $4,000 or $5,000 damage to your parents' pocket. You don't pay the insurance, your parents pay, right? But here's the damage to you. If you pass more than 3 points in 1 year, 5 points in 2 years, or 7 points in 3 years, DMV will suspend your license. I said, why? You can't take my license. Well, let me tell you something. Driver license or driving privileges is called privilege. It's not a right. You don't have the right to have a license. It's a privilege that they give you. And let me tell you something, just like at your home, parents give you a privilege, they can take it away. They give you a phone, they give you internet, they can take it away if you abuse it. Same thing with the law. If you abuse your driving privilege, they'll take it away from you. So how do they know you're abusing it? By point system. So more tickets you get, more points you get, then you will lose your license. Can't drive anymore. So that's what the damage to you. You lose your license. To your parents, lots of money, a lot of money. A lot of kids that do over 100 miles an hour, drive over 100 miles an hour. That's 2 points. Stay in your record 7 years. And your insurance goes up $4,000 to $5,000 a year. That costs your parents $30,000, that ticket. Besides $3,000 attorney fee. $30,000 to the insurance. You have 2 points now. If you have an accident that you're at fault, that's 2 points against you. If somebody gets hurt, say, oh, my back, my neck hurts. So right there, you have 4 points. Goodbye, driving, no more driver license. So it's very important to drive carefully. I know all of you love to drive. So, hey, you love to drive. Make it a longer. 45 minutes drive, make it 50. Why are you making it 30? You love to drive? Slow down, stop at the stop sign, see the sceneries. At the minimum, if you break the law, it's a ticket, and you don't want to know the maximum. Is death. I have kids come to me, sitting here in my office with the parents, 16, 17 years old, getting ticket, parents pay, I get it dismissed. They get ticket, parents pay, I get it dismissed. There was a kid, 18 years old, and I told parents, I don't do tickets anymore for him because it's dangerous to himself and society. This is the last one. He was doing 120 miles an hour. Got it dismissed, called home, called mom, pick up the phone, start crying. I said, I dismissed the kid, why are you crying? He said, because he was going fast again, in an accident. He passed, he died. We just buried him. We just come back from funeral. People, kids die, not just by going fast, by texting, using a cell phone. You think you're expert on texting and multitasking and driving and texting, but you think, don't do that. People die, or people get paralyzed, or you kill other people. I have so many clients that either they died or they killed someone. Another 19-year-old racing with the 18-year-old on the street. All of a sudden, car hit each other, swinging around. Well, my client, the other party, hit from his side to a pole, and he died right on the spot. 18-year-old died. All that because of not obeying the law. It's obeying the law. It says 35, you go 35. You don't go 55. Don't go 65. So, beside fatal, killing, paralyzing, minimum getting a ticket, your poor parents have to pay $4,000 or $5,000 extra. You're going to lose your license. You're going to lose your privilege of driving. So if you want to become a lawyer or something, you better not having any misdemeanor infraction. 1 or 2 is okay. Misdemeanor, no. What's misdemeanor? Okay. Told you the high level felony, the low level infraction, the middle level is a misdemeanor. Teenagers do that a lot. Racing, burning rubbers, driving without a license in their possession, or when the license is on hold or suspended because of tickets, they still driving. Drinking and driving, smoking weed and driving. All of that are misdemeanor, carries with 2 points, up to 6 months jail, up to 5-year probation, $5,000 court fine, and a $10,000 attorney. And you lose your license too. And you cannot become a lawyer or a judge. So it's not like, I'm 17, I've been a lawyer, I'm 25, 30, whatever. No, they look at your record from day one to get your license. So it's count. You are on the watch, right? So if you want to have a bright future, which you will, but you have to choose your goal. My goal is to be surgeon, doctor, CPA, whatever you want to be. Just see that, look in the mirror every day and look at yourself and see yourself being that. Your brain will take you there. Your brain will show you the way to get there. I was dreaming becoming a lawyer, you know, after my engineer and all that. And then it took me there. It took 20 years or so, but it took me there. If you have a goal, your brain will walk you through it. So very important to put a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't know what you want to do, where you want to go, your brain can't take you there. He has to know where you want to go. We'll tell you, okay, you want to do this, you better have a clean record, you better study here, you better do this, you better study harder, you better have A+ average or A average or whatever. But set the goal at this age. You don't have to be 22. See what you like to do. Number one, like to do, not what you want to do, not what you make more money. Forget about more money. If you do something you like, you will make more money. So don't go like, oh, this profession makes so much money. That's what I want to do. Well, you get there, you do it for 2 years, you hate it. I have a cousin. He became a surgeon, and then he almost quit in the middle of medical school because he couldn't stand blood. He hated blood. But, you know, he was in the middle, and he became a doctor, but he never practiced. And so you can do something else. See what you like to do, right? Not what makes more money. You're getting into it, you stay with it the rest of your life, and you work good for it. You work extra hours, you make good money because of it, a lot of money. And even if you don't, it's okay. End of the day, you did something you like. You don't come home and say, I hate this job. Oh my God. You know, it really frustrates me, make me tired. And you will come home at 5 o'clock, tired, dead. But if you have something you like, you come home, you're energized. So the key is do something you like, put the goal out there, every day tell yourself, and your brain will get you there, tell you how to do. I have a story. It happened to my son, my younger son, Ethan. I was hiking with him when he was 3-4 years old. I've been hiking for over 50 years, 55 years. So I took him hiking, and one day, and we come back, we go half hour, we come back. And one day he says, Dad, I want to go way up there. That point there, those things. I said, okay. So how can we do that? When can I do that? I said, easy. Tell your brain that you want to go there. Close your eyes and say, I want to reach that. And he closed his eyes and he did it. And I said, okay, let's go. Your brain will make you do it. We did. The half-hour hiking became 2.5 hours. I came home. My wife, where were you guys? I thought you guys were lost. There was no reception. So came home. It was like 5, 6 years old. The lesson was, he learned that if you tell his brain make him do it. He can do anything his brain said so. So next day, we got a call from a school. And what's going on? We went there, and what happened? He says, well, Ethan kind of punched someone in the stomach. I said, Ethan, why did you do that? So, well, it cut in front of me in the line, and I said, get out. Cut in front of me again. I said, get out. And then I said, what? Then you punched him in the stomach. I said, no, I didn't do it. My brain told my hand to do it. So, yeah. So from that age, he realized, so he knew that, you know, he used the trick too. That was my brain, it wasn't me, but it was like 5 years old. Anyway, set the goal so your brain can take you there. In order to set a goal, you have to experience a little bit, see what you like, you know, go shadow a lawyer, go shadow a doctor, a dentist, a periodontist, a CPA, whatever you like to be, go work, go there. I have students here all the time, shadowing me, seeing the office. Oh, I love. And I have then they start working here. I have 9 or 10 of the students that came in here to work. They become lawyers. They are lawyers now. And they even help me. They work for me. I had kids come here with a ticket. So, oh, I don't have money. I can't pay for it. I said, you work here for it. He worked here for his ticket, attorney fee. He liked it. He stayed. He went to law school. He's a lawyer. So go. It's not too early. And it's never too late anyway. But it's better to start at this age, to get on it and go. Now, I believe most of you driving now, 17 years old, 16, 17, 18. And that's why I brought this. So, you're not driving? Okay. I see somebody here shaking their head and said, no. All right, you'll get there. So this is for you for when you get there. Be careful. Always remember two things. Don't break the law, pay taxes. And that's it. When you get no trouble with the law or the government, the road is open. You pay taxes, you can borrow as much as money you want, buy houses, buy businesses, and become successful. And if you don't break the law, then you can go, you can do things, you can be things, because if you break the law, you have a bad criminal record. No good. You can't do it. You can't do anything. So the other things I want to say, when you drive, don't pull attention from the cops. What I mean by that, don't put big mufflers on your car and muffler that shoot fires and all that, because that's all like red flag. Come and get me. Tint windows, lower cars, just blend in. I have a lot of kids. Oh, I got a ticket again. Well, what kind of car you have? Best and what? Shoot flames in the back and tint windows and make noise. Well, of course, every day you can get it because you're doing illegal stuff to your car, and then they're watching you. You're asking for it. So, past this stage of 16 to 22, 25, that's an important one for you get in trouble or not. That's very important years for you guys to stay healthy, stay out of trouble, stay alive. So some of the things you guys do don't think is a big deal, but hey, one small accident. My far cousin was in a car with two other teenagers. They were driving. He was sitting in the back, too fast. Freeway 101 hit the center, rolled over. The car started fire. The two front people opened the door, went away. He was unconscious back. He burned to death. Just driving a little fast. That's it. Other people I know sitting in the car, 5 people driving. Tire pressure was low. They were going a little fast. The front tire popped. And the car started rolling over. 5 people in there, 5 helicopters, 5 different hospitals at the same time. They almost died. So cars is very dangerous. It's more dangerous than a gun. Gun, you have to aim, you have to be really good at aiming and then shoot and then kill that person. With a car, you go in a freeway, 60, 70 miles an hour, you lose control, 2, 3, 4, 5 people dead. You don't aim anything, you don't do anything. The car is more dangerous than guns. So you guys be very careful what you do. Have patience behind the wheel. Leave 5 minutes early to get wherever you want to get. If you're late, that's okay. You'll be 5 minutes late. At least you get there. If you go fast, the cops stop you, you'll be 30 minutes late. So no brainer. Think that way. Right? That's the minimum. That's the best scenario. You get a ticket in 5 minutes. You get an accident. I don't know. You never make it there. You go to the hospital or police or whatever. You don't make your appointment. So you have to be really careful when you're behind the wheel. That's the most dangerous thing I think is around. It's more dangerous than a gun. So I think I said enough. So I'm going to open up the forum here for people. If you guys have questions, ask me so I can answer. Any questions?
Don't be shy. You guys can ask in the chat too if you want.
Ask me anything. Elijah, do you have any question?
No.
Andrew, it looks like you unmuted. Do you have a question? No? Oh,
No.
Ellie, I think you had a question in the Padlet, right?
Okay, then let me tell you a little more about what's going on when you're behind the wheel. Don't make your tire spin, because If you spin it, they see it, or if they hear it, or they see the smoke, that's called speedix. That is a misdemeanor ticket. It's got 2 points, up to 6 months jail, and up to 5-year probation, and up to $5,000 fine to the court. Racing, it doesn't have to be with another car. It doesn't have to be 2 cars, friends or non-friends racing. Racing is start when you burn rubber. That's a race. You can race with yourself. You can say, hey, from here to my home, I see if I can make it in 5 minutes. That's racing. But the cop will never know that, but the cop will say, if you're driving too fast, you're probably racing. So he can write you up for racing, even though you're not racing. Reckless driving. Reckless driving is not like you're doing 120 miles an hour. You can do 45 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour on a 30-mile zone, when a school zone, when the kids are out, zigzagging between the kids and cars. That's a reckless drive. That's a misdemeanor, 2 points. And remember, 1 point will cost $4,000 or $5,000 for your parents. Those 2 points will cost them $30,000. And that's a lot of money. That's a whole year work or 6 months work. So you don't want to do that to them. So be very careful there. Misdemeanors, reckless driving and all that, they will tow your car for 30 days. They can, and most cops do, especially if there's youngster driving, they'll tow your car for 30 days, so you'll be without a car for 30 days. They suspend your license for 30 days. So there's a lot of after that in just getting a ticket. So I got a ticket, I'll pay for it, $490 red light camera ticket. That's not just that. Now you just got 1 point on your record, your parents paying more money, then you have a small fender bender accident, that's 2 more points, and then you're accumulating points, and then you're gonna lose your license. So, and here, especially in California, driving license is like having legs. No license, having no legs. Just like your cell phone. You guys don't have a cell phone, you can't even move, you can't walk, right? You're like, what am I gonna do without cell phone? Right? Same thing. Cars is almost the same. You need it to go around, you need to get to places and schools and all that. So,
Mr. Solomon, a couple questions in the chat.
sure.
So it's interesting because you did so many different things before you became a lawyer, even though you thought 30 years ago, I would love to be a judge, but you did, it seems like everything but that. And so do you feel like those helped you in getting to your career, or would you have wished you had gone straight to go to law school?
Well, I wish I would go straight to law school, but I couldn't, because at the time when I graduated from the engineering, I had to work at the exotic car lots and diamond, because my father passed away at the same time. And I was 22, 23, and I had 2 younger brothers and a mother that I had to take care of. So I immediately had to work to make money to support my family, my mom and my brothers. I have 1 older brother too, but he, same time he got married and he went his own way. So I had a 12-year-old brother that I had to take. And, take care of my mom. And so I started working, making money, make sure I take care of them. And then when I had the other 2 younger brother, one of them I put through dental school, he became a dentist, and the other one became periodontist, surgeon. When they finished, they accomplished where they want to be. Then I said, okay, now it's my turn to go become a lawyer. I always wanted it to be, but I couldn't for 10, 12 years. I had to work to support the family. Once they got somewhere, I said, now it's my turn. And that's why I started it late. But nevertheless, I started late. But when I started it, I was like going 100 miles an hour. I wasn't starting like 10 miles, 20 miles per hour, because I had 6, 7 businesses before. I was a businessman before. I was mature enough. So here is a 40. When I became a lawyer, I was 44, I think. 44-year-old lawyer versus 24-year-old lawyer. I had experience. I had business. I know how to deal and wheel and all that. So I always, a few months later, I was really happy and successful, which those lawyers had to struggle to get, because experience is the key. And the more experience you have, the better you get in whatever you do. And how do you get the experience? Well, by doing things. Not just watching them on TikTok and Instagram, by doing it. You guys watch all day long, 8 hours a day. Oh, how to make money on Instagram and TikTok. Well, that's not reality. And go ahead and get up and do it. Once you do it, right or wrong, doesn't matter. Do it, wrong, you learn, right? Good. Next. By doing it, you get experience. And more experience you have, more successful you be. And then if you choose what you want to be successful in, then you'll be happy also. You're happy and successful.
Mr. Solomon, why would somebody come to you if they got a ticket? So,
Sure.
you just pay a fine, but is there a reason why I would come to you?
Yes. Again, if you pay the fine, that means, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Here's the money, $500 for my ticket. Sorry. They said, thank you. Here's your point. For every ticket you pay, you get a point. And again, those points will cost insurance $5,000 in 3 years or $30,000 in 7 years increase. Plus, you accumulate points, you're going to lose your license. They come to me because they don't want a point, because they want me to go and either get it dismissed or negotiate it, find something in law. Every ticket is a procedure in law. And if it's not there or they're not doing it right, then you're off the hook. So people come to me because they don't want to have a point, because they don't want to pay money to insurance, especially Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, and commercial drivers, big trucks. They get a ticket and they pay for it. They get a point on their record, they lose their job. So the Uber driver gets a ticket. Oh, okay, $389, pay the court. The next day, the app doesn't work. It can't work because employers don't want employees with a bad record. Why? Obviously, it's a bad record. He goes fast or whatever he does, he's going to hit someone, and the employer has to pay money to the victim, or employer insurance has to pay for the victim. And what happens when insurance pays? They raise the price, and these companies, it's not like they're raising 1,000, 2,000, a year. It's like 20, 30, 50,000 more for the companies. So the companies will say, you know what, you got a ticket, thank you, you're out. Next person comes in. That's why they come to me, because they don't want to lose their job, they don't want to lose their license, and they don't want to pay extra to insurance company. And when teenagers come to me, I'll tell the parents that parents can't pay for their attorney fee. The kids have to pay. Because if the kids don't feel the pressure, they get a ticket, parents pay, I dismiss it, they won't even feel it. So in order for people to learn from it, has to be a consequence. There's no consequence, your brain won't absorb, won't learn. And everything has a consequence. Imagine if they said, you know what, when the light is red, just don't go through it, please. There's no consequence. You will go through it. The stop sign, please stop. But the consequence is you go a red light, you pay $500, and then you get a point, and then you pay more money to insurance. So there is consequence for the things that you do. And that's how it is. So that's why they come to me, and I'll try to make it. And the kids, I tell them, you pay for it, and you have to promise no more. Another one or two, okay, but I make them go do the class again, the 6 hour behind the wheel. I make them to go and take it again. If I want to take their case, they have to go behind the class. So that's what.
Have you ever heard of anyone get a cell phone ticket? I've never heard of anyone get a cell phone ticket, and everyone's on their cell phone.
And a lot of people get cell phone tickets. A lot of people get cell phone, but it used to be no pointer. You pay $190, $186, and it's gone. But now, if you get 2 in 3 years, becomes a point. That means harsh consequences. The hard thing is they can't see when you're on your cell phone. The cell phone is down on your lap or in the bottom, and then you have a door and a window. They can't see. But if you have a low car and the cop come next to you and see it, yeah, they'll come and stop you. And I get a lot of those.
Wow.
They do issue. But
what if you're using your phone for a map?
Can't have a cell phone in your hand.
Oh.
It doesn't matter if it's for a map, is for reading a text, texting, or even talking to it, or saying do something. It can't be in your hand.
Ah,
Can't have it, even if it's not on. Because at the driving, you have to have both hands on the wheel. I know that a lot of people drinking coffee and driving, and men sometimes shave and drive, women do eyes and curl their hair when they drive, whatever. But the phone is something you cannot have in your hand, even using navigation. So put the phone on the snap thing before you start driving, because if you pick it up from your seat, put it on that the thing that make it stand there, he sees in your hand as a ticket.
mm.
So be careful. Any other questions?
So does Elijah follow all your suggestions?
Most of them, yes, he does. He knows. He worked here in my firm, and he saw what people do and can do and what happened. So it's pretty good. He drives okay. Thank God, no ticket. So, he has his share to go a little fast. So I took the car away from him. So you go too fast, you get a ticket, no car for a week or two. So that's how I monitor it. But he's pretty good. He's a good driver, good kid. He's had a good future. Elijah knows what he wants. He decided he wants to become a lawyer, and he wants to take over my office. He has his goal. Now his brain's telling him, hey, you got to get all A's, you got to get to this thing, and you can study this major, then go to this law school. So you already know the path. And once you know this, it's so easy because it's one road to take. Imagine if you want to go from here to Las Vegas, but you don't know which freeway, which street, how to go. You'd be like, how do I get there? But once you know you want to go to Vegas, vacation, or San Diego, whatever, you get the map, put it in, say, okay, go this freeway, go here, boom, done. It's easy to be what you want to be if you set it up and then say, okay, what do I do for it? Your brain will take you.
I have one more question about drug use, if anyone else doesn't have a question.
Anything else? No. Okay, go ahead.
Like e-cigarettes, vaping, THC vaping, even just a shot of some small bottle of alcohol, like how, it's like, it's not just, it seems like there's so many more ways to be under the influence, but how much of it that is considered under the influence if it's not, like before you could smoke cigarettes and drive, you still can. So what is the law with respect to vaping different things?
Vaping tobacco, you can still do it because it's like a cigarette. But vaping marijuana, jewel, or things that you're not supposed to, unless you're 21, not supposed to vape it or use it. And a lot of people, even older people, think, oh, I have a doctor note, I can smoke. Well, yes, and I'm 25 or 22 or 18, doesn't matter. And yeah, you can also go liquor store if you're 22, 21, buy liquor, but you can't drink it and drive. You can't drink it while you're driving, or you can't drink it at home and then sit behind the wheel. Same thing with drugs. If people have the prescription for marijuana, maybe for whatever it is, which, pain or whatever it is, concentration, you can smoke it, but you can't drive for 2 days.
Oh.
2 days. Yes. So if you smoke every 2 days, that means you can never smoke. You can never drive. Right? Drinking is 8 hours. If you're over 21 and you drink, you better wait 8 to 10 hours for the alcohol to get out, drinking a lot of water and all that. 8 hours later, you can drive. Now, their limit, but not for kids. If you're under 21, the limit is 0.0000. Cannot be a drop of alcohol in your blood. It's, I only had one little beer, one shot. Nothing is 0 until 21. It's illegal to drink, to have alcohol in your blood at your home, even in the street, let alone behind the wheel, because alcohol impairs your ability to drive. It impairs it, lowered down your ability to drive. You don't think so because you're in it, you don't know. But have your friend watch you after you drink, watch you walking or driving Terrible. You don't know it, you don't notice it, but other people do. That's how the cops stop you. So no smoking, weeds, juice, and all that, and drive at least 2-3 days, drinking 8 to 10 hours. And if they stop you, it's a little bit in your blood, that's it. It's a DUI, and you lose your license for a year, no matter, there's no ifs and buts. That's the state law. If you're over 21, I do DMV hearing and I'll reduce it from 1 year to 4 months. But you're under 21, no, there's no talking, there's no meeting. The license gone for a year. So can't have a little alcohol, no, none, zero. Can't have drugs or anything, even pills. You see these pills, if you go take your tooth out, your wisdom tooth, Elijah just took his all 4 wisdom tooths out a couple of weeks ago, and he was on heavy medication. And on all the bottles says, impairs driving. Do not drive while taking this pill. So 2 weeks, he never sat behind it. He knew it, said, yep, his friend came and took him and brought him back. The pills, there are pills that says don't drive, you don't take those pills and drive. Tylenols with codeine, same as drug. Can't take that and drug. So yeah, for people under 21, there's no limit, but for over 21, yeah, there's 0.08 for alcohol, for DUI. But the 0.08 and over means it's presumed that you drunk. They can still charge someone DUIs at 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, but the burden of proof is on them, on the city, on the state, not on us to prove he wasn't drunk. They have to prove he was drunk. But if you have 0.09, 0.10, 0.12, they don't have to prove anything. He's already presumed you're drunk. Here's your punishment, blah, blah, blah. So just don't get involved. If you do drink after you're 21, just call Uber, have your parents to come get you, have a designated driver. Just if you have drink, then don't drive. Just can't mix the drinking, driving, drugs and driving. As it is bad enough at this age because you don't have enough experience. You only have 1, 2, 3, 4 years experience. It's not enough. Not enough for driving. You need 10, 20 years experience to become really good. They said, no, I'm a pretty good driver. I'm 2 years. You will see 10 years from now. I said, I know nothing. It's the same thing with basketball. It's the same thing with walking, running. You knew a lot more if you practice basketball 5 years down the road when you play basketball rather than the first year. Right? You always know better and learn better because of experience. And experience is doing things. So you drive, you get better. Don't think after 2 years you're the best driver. 16 to 20 are the worst drivers, and then 85 to 95 are the worst driver too. These 2 ends. In the middle, you're okay. So, any other questions? Anybody?
Well, I'm gonna ask them, kind of some of their takeaways. So we'll share that with you.
Sure.
But thank you so much. I feel like you gave us so much more than just legal, advice, but just life advice. So it was really helpful.
Yes, it is it's all about life. You guys just started. You have many, many years, 70, 80 years to go. So don't risk it. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse your body. Don't harm it. Take it slow. Go up to 99 years old. Take it fast. You see what happened to these people that drive fast life, drugs, rappers, and all that. Where are they? 30 years, 40 years old, they're not here anymore. Life is beautiful. Driving is enjoyable. I enjoy driving, but make it longer instead of faster. Enjoy the drive. That's all I can say.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to let you go because I'm sure you have a busy day.
Yeah, we gotta leave.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. If you guys can stay a little bit for a second.
Yeah, stay safe. Don't break the law. Pay taxes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hold on.